Hello there and welcome to the second creator podcast for the Purgatorians. My name's Paul Hornsby. I'm the creator, director, editor and scriptwriter for the show. The initial editor, that is. It will be getting remastered episodes, which I will touch upon later. But I don't voice act apart from a cameo in the final scene of the prequel episodes. I'll talk about the prequel episodes soon, but first of all, let's get on to how scene changes will work. As I say, the main show is being worked on. That will be for the Patreon and Twitter/X versions. YouTube will get licensed tracks for the opening titles and the end credits. Unfortunately, I could get sued if I tried to put that on Patreon. So yeah, I don't want to risk that. I don't want to risk being sued. The show's gone up in costs, which I will touch upon later. So hopefully I never have any court appearances. What will happen is the opening titles will play. That will fade into the opening scene. As each scene changes, it will be a licensed track for YouTube that plays into the next scene, just so it's not like cut straight into the other scenes. I do want to try to make it as professional as possible for you. If you don't see something you like in the first season, I don't mean script-wise here, I mean editing-wise, let me know and I'll try to make it much better for you. But yes, the licensed songs that will run over scenes, and then during the last scene it will fade out into the end credits, which will be another licensed song for YouTube, or the main theme for Patreon and Twitter. I am having 3 variations of the main theme, which will be the main theme itself, a sad version of the main theme, think Peggy's theme in EastEnders. Hopefully, that's what I've put the comparison as. Hopefully they can do it like that. And also a backing track theme, so I can add singers putting a song over it if needed. So yes, I am looking forward to this. It's possibly the most expensive main theme I'm putting in, which is, I think it's possibly £320 for the main 3 versions of it. So it's not cheap. So yeah, that's how scene changes are going to work. They're going to run along those lines. I'll give you an example of those after I spoke about this next bit, because I've got the absolute perfect thing, the perfect example I can give you. So we'll talk about extras that are being added outside of the show when content's on a break, which I'll touch upon next. So this should really have come after the next part, but I can't really put in the example in the next part. I've put the example in this part. That's why I want to bring it now. So the show will take breaks. So what will happen is, let me give you an example for the first part of season 1. That's going to run up until episode 11. This will be touched upon more next, but that will go to episode 11. And then it'll take a break for a bit. This is so we can keep in front. Using my own funds right now, unfortunately, it's only been able to be done a 1 month or 2 at a time. So I need to take these breaks in order to stay in front, basically. Well, we all do, the cast as well. So what will happen is, when there's no more shows coming, for the time being, they will come back, obviously. It's a long show. So what will happen is, I'll touch on the YouTube ones first, then I'll touch on the Patreon ones, and then that will lead perfectly into the scene change example. So first of all, I'll give you an example of the outtakes that are coming. They'll come. I've asked the cast to separate the outtakes. I will pay for them. It's not a lot, it's only £1 a minute, which then I'll ask them to put them in another folder ready to send again. The outtakes will be coming. I'll put an example of what I mean here, because I've got lots during this show so far. So these will just be my outtakes from this episode. There's a hell of a lot, there honestly is. But for now, here's an example of the outtakes. Hello there, and welcome to the second fuck off. Hello there, and welcome to the second creator podcast for the Start again, bloody hell. Take 526. I'm trying to make it as listenable. Is that the word? Listenable? It's something like that. So if we get that, Patreon members will also be getting a cast. I am having 3 variations of the main scene. A sad version. No, fuck off. I can't talk. So as you could see there, should I say, I was getting quite frustrated because I kept messing up. Phone calls kept coming in. Cop cars going past interrupted me. Yep, I've been trying to do this now for 40 minutes. I am 11 minutes into my recording because I kept having to restart. But anyway, there'll be more cast interviews as well. They'll keep coming, asking what the cast thought about the season, asking what they're thinking about their character's development, things like that. If you've got any questions as well, I'm always happy to add them into the cast interviews. But there's also the informal Q&As as well with the cast. We'll all be well, not all. Those who choose to take part, it is an optional extra. Those who choose to take part will be answering the questions you have. So if you've got any questions that I can't go into in full on YouTube, I'll ask the cast and they'll give you their own answer. That'll be an actual get together, not like the cast interviews, which are like the questions being sent off and the interviewer getting the questions and then piecing them together. No, these will all be together. These will be edited down and put onto YouTube. There's also the reactions as well. If you want to do any reactions, I am sorry, as I say, it is licensed tracks for YouTube, so I do apologise about that. But what will happen is, if you want to submit any reactions, be careful. If you do it on your own channel, you could get claimed or struck. I don't want you to do that whatsoever, but I am open to submissions for them. I will put them in the videos when they start going live. If you want to submit your reactions, send it to the Purgatorians Inquiries or whatever that email address is going to be, and I will put them together for a video for you. You can either do this in video format or audio format. If I get a mixture of video and audio, I will do 2 and put them on, one audio one and one video one. So if you want to do that, keep an eye out and you can submit them to me. You will get a shout out on the video in the description. I will link to your channel, so there you go. Now, the cast commentary, there'll be 2 cast commentary videos if I get enough people taking this extra. There'll be the outside cast who are not in that episode. They'll be giving their thoughts on the show, kind of like a director's commentary on DVDs and things like that. They'll be giving their thoughts of the show and what's happening and what they thought when they read the script. Oh, you'll be getting the director's commentary one here as well. So I'll be giving my little inputs as well. But there is also the cast interview ones on Patreon. And the Patreon ones will be the cast who are in that episode giving their thoughts as to what's happening. Basically like the YouTube one, but directly speaking about their roles in the show and in that episode and exactly what they think. Patreon will also be getting the director's commentary early. Like, the director's commentary will be coming to YouTube, and the cast commentary, they'll be coming to YouTube, but during the breaks. So the director's commentary will come to Patreon maybe somewhere between Monday to Wednesday after the show's gone live. I'm thinking Monday, but the cast commentary will come later down the line, same as when you get yours, maybe a week before, well, maybe a little time before, because I do want them to get early access to the cast commentary you get. So it will come a little earlier than that, but not too much. But they will have the second cast commentary as well. So I hope they're looking forward to that. And with the outtakes and the informal Q&As, these will be cut down for YouTube, but they will be as in full as possible for Patreon members. Now, what might happen is they might get a full video of them and you get them released over time, and they might get some exclusive clips as well. So that's how that's going to happen, possibly. This isn't all set in stone yet, but this is the way I'm looking at it. The cast interviews for Patreon will basically be the same as what YouTube get, but early access. There will be an extra reaction video for Patreon. Patreon can submit their own reactions, and they'll be getting that as an early access. Patreon will also be getting an extra reaction video. Now, 1 or 2 of these clips from there might leak into the main one, but it will be mostly exclusive for Patreon members there. We're also looking at concept art for. We've got a fantastic cast member in Discord, and they've been showing off some drawings that they can do, and they're actually very good. Honestly, they are only like pencil drawings. It's not like coloured in or anything like that. But I've asked them if they want to do concept art for the show. I am more than happy to do that if they want to. They're a fantastic person, brilliant to talk to, and I've offered it them as an optional extra. So if we get that, Patreon members will also be getting concept art as well, a video for that. It'll only be short, maybe a couple of minutes, but it's another little extra there for them. Well, it won't just be concept art. Should see some of the pictures is drawn. I'll put a screenshot of a couple of the pictures is drawn up now. You'll see what I mean. But yes, like I say, he is a good drawer, and I do want to take advantage. Well, I say take advantage, that sounds bad. It will be being paid for it, but I do want to I do want to take his art into account. A minute. I'm going to now lead this into the scene change, the example that I spoke of. So if you want to help fund us, we do have a Patreon, which I've just been mentioning. They're just some of the extras that they'll be getting. There is more. There is some tiers privated. If you watch the last video, you'll see all the tiers, but now I've added a couple of extras on as well. So yeah, if you want to help us, then you can fund us, help fund us there. Now, you'll see why, because it is so expensive to make. This is a high budget audio drama, and I'm only on limited funds. So yes, it is there if you want to give us extra help with the show, especially before we get monetized, because I need 500 subscribers to even reach and the watch time to even reach the is it super chats or super thanks on YouTube? But I need that many for getting that. So I'm far away. Well, we're far away now, 27 at the moment as of recording this. So yeah, that is the only way to fund us right now. I am thinking about starting buying me a coffee, but I'm not entirely sure. I won't give you no money. Now, do you see what I mean by having the absolute perfect track there? Leading on from Patreon. I've had that planned for a month maybe now. I've been wanting to do that for a while. You can guarantee it will be taken off licked now. I hope not, but if this bit's in, it was the perfect scene change to use. But that is exactly how scene changes will work. It will correlate with what's happened, hopefully. Sometimes it will just be music, like a musical track, if it needs to be, but hopefully I can mostly do licensed. So I want to touch upon the increased number of episodes I'm now doing per season. I did put this in a community note, but I'm going to go into more. I'm going to elaborate more on it, so to say. So it was originally going to run for 18 episodes per season, and then I moved that up to 26. Then I moved, no, 24, sorry. Then I moved it up to 36. Now it's on 52 episodes per season. Now, I really want to bring production along much quicker. I need to, because right now 52 episodes is going to take what, maybe 12, 24, 36, 48. It's going to take a little over 4 years to do one season. I don't want that. So hopefully you enjoy the first season and we can get monetized and we can get into a perfect running schedule for getting lines and that. But as of now, it's only a month or two to do each episode, that is. So yes, now I'm on 52 episodes per season. That will lead me into the next part, but it will have to take breaks, especially for the first season. All the rest will get mid-season breaks, but for the first season it will have to take 3 breaks at least. Like I said in the earlier segment, 11 episodes for the first one, for the first part of season 1. Then it will go up to possibly 24 if I need to add another break. The next break will be around episode 36, unless I'm forced into putting a break before then. And then the final break will be episode 52. So what will happen is all those extras will come between those episodes, so when the break's on, then it'll come back, and then back to the extras, and then back again. So hopefully it's not too bad later down the line. But I hope you can understand why we have to do that with the first show, because, well, the first season, should I say, because my limited funds, with putting the episodes up to 52 episodes per season now, and keeping it as 5+ seasons, it has now increased the cost to, for voice cast alone, £60,000 per season. I told you it's high budget, it's a high budget show. It may not sound very high budget to begin with, not with my editing skills, but if I can hire an audio engineer to make it much better, then there you go. I'm trying to make this sound as professional as possible. I do hope you cut me a bit of slack with the first season. I mean, the cast are settling into their roles, I'm settling into my duties. So hopefully, yes, you can cut me a bit of slack there, cut us a bit of slack, and you keep an eye out for the remastered episodes. What will happen with the remastered episodes, they will come to YouTube eventually, but what will happen is they will first all go to Patreon, and then a second channel might get set up for the remastered episodes. I don't know yet, or I might put them on this one, depending on how well the show's doing. Now finally, I want to talk about episode lengths and exactly why you'll see some running a lot longer than others, some shorter than others, things like that. So what I'll do, I'll start with the prequel episode first, and I'll speak a bit about that, and then that'll explain exactly why some episodes are longer than others. The prequel episodes were thought about after the show. I think I'd wrote about 16 to 18 episodes of the show, and then I thought about doing a prequel one. The reason for this being, the show does have some setup to do, so it does take slightly longer to get into it. It does start a proper storyline at the end of the first episode, but I wanted to show you exactly how the show was going to, what kind of themes you could expect, so to say. So I did this 4-part prequel miniseries to start it off. This will give you more insights into the land, the enemies, things like that, and exactly what a cycle is, and exactly why it's so important it has to be stopped. So yes, it will lead to the end of the cycle, and I think the first episode's maybe 45 minutes, same with the second. The third episode maybe between 70 to 80 minutes, 90 minutes even, because I did run these on a day-by-day basis, and there was so much to fit into that third day. Wait for it, you won't be disappointed, you honestly won't, especially if you like horror. You will not be disappointed in that, believe me. There is always watch later. If you don't have time to watch it all at once, you can always add it to watch later, come back to it later and continue it. I'm not expecting someone to sit there for 70 minutes minimum and just thinking, you know, I really need to go to the toilet, I really need to go to the shop, I need to go to work. No, just add it to watch later, and you can always return to it then. But yes, the last episode of the prequel miniseries will be, I think it's between 50 to 60 minutes. So, what I'm trying to say is, when it runs on a day-by-day basis, I have thought of another way to do this in the current episodes, but what will happen is, on a day-by-day basis, in the earlier ones, if more needs to be added for that day, the length will increase. It also goes into the shorter episodes. The first episode of the main show will be roughly an hour long, maybe an hour 10. That's the setup to the show. And then after that, it was originally 45 minutes per episode, but I dropped that down to 30 minutes thereabouts, so it did ruin a lot of endings. Honestly, it has ruined a lot of endings for that. It comes back on episode 11. I think, I can't remember exactly what episode it was when I started completely scripting them as half-hour episodes. But yes, it may be 6, 7, 8 episodes before you start getting proper endings after the first episode. Don't worry, by episode 11, it will leave you on a cliffhanger. It will. Please don't hate me for leaving you on a cliffhanger. All the mid-season breaks will be on cliffhangers, so yep, I'm hoping you do come back to them later. But yes, it's around episode 16, I think it is, where I fully moved it back up to 45-minute episodes, scripting it as 45-minute episodes. So this will continue. The Christmas specials will be longer. The anthology episodes may run around 45 episodes, maybe up to an hour. I don't think there's any scripted longer than that. I think they're between maybe 45 to 54 pages, I think the longest one is. So yeah, it may run a little over an hour with the licensed tracks added in. But yes, I just wanted to give you a little idea of how those will work. So that's just a little bit of news that I thought I'd give you. You know, I thought I'd just focus on the episodes today, how they'd run, the little bit extras that Patreon will be getting that have newly been added. And I may look into doing some behind the scenes stuff as well, but I don't know exactly what else to bring. So if you could please give me your thoughts on what else I can bring, I would be more than happy to listen to them. I mean, obviously I can't bring spoilers. With that, I'll sign out now. I think cut down, this will be between 20 to 25 minutes. I'll show you what it's like. Well, you've heard what it's like with all the others going into the final credits. But I'll move into the final credits now. Hopefully I'll choose a song that you want to listen to, that you'd like to listen to. Please remember that all the songs that you're hearing right now, in all the trailers that I'm giving, with the licensed ones that is, all the trailers that I'm giving, all the character introductions that I'm bringing, all the songs do mean something to the show, so please take those into account. With that, if you enjoyed or you're looking forward to the show or anything like that, could I please ask you to like, comment and subscribe? I would really appreciate it. £60,000 per season and I'm earning maybe £13,000 a year, less tax. So yes, we really need to get monetized, so if you could please like, comment and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. We all would. And with that, I shall sign out now, and I'm going to create the next Creator podcast now, so I've got more to talk about. But until then, see you next time. Goodbye.
It's been a long time coming, such a long, long time, and I can't stop running. Such a long, long time. Can you hear my heart beating? Can you hear that sound? 'Cause I can't help thinking, and I won't stop now. And then I looked up at the sun, and I could see all the way that gravity pulls on you and me. And then I looked up at the sky and saw the sun, and the way that gravity pushes on everyone, on everyone. Baby, when your wheels start turning and you feel let down, and it seems like troubles have come all around, I can hear your heart beating, I can hear that sound, but I can't help thinking, and I won't look now. And then I looked up at the sun, and I could see all the way that gravity pulls on you and me. And then I looked up at the sky and saw the sun, and the way that gravity pushes on everyone, on everyone.